Hey class, today we're going to talk about orbits. So I'm going to write the word orbit, O-R-B-I-T. And we are going to make an orbit today. First we're going to start by putting a dot right in the middle, and we're going to name that dot the sun. The sun's at the center of the solar system. And then we're going to show an orbit. An orbit is just a path around the sun. And what I'm going to do with my orbit is I'm going to use the thick part of the marker instead of the tip to make my orbit path. Nice and thick line. If you need to turn your paper to do this, that's okay. Keep going around. Doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Connect. Perfect. All right. So now I've got one orbit around the sun, and I can put a planet here, and a planet can orbit the sun. This is Mars, just going around and around and around. And we know that there are more than just one planet in our solar system, so there would be more orbits further away from the sun as well. But today, to do our orbit, instead of us doing it with this model planet, we're going to use something called an Ozobot. So this Ozobot is a small robot. It's got two wheels at the bottom and a light sensor at the top. Here's the front of it. Here's the back of it. Notice there are no buttons like with the B-bots, so I can't tell it to go forward, backward, left, or right, but it will go in a path that I show it. I'll give you an idea what that looks like in just a little bit. This is the on button. So I'm going to push the on button, and when I hold the Ozobot, I'm always away from the wheels. My hands are up around on its outer shell. It's on because the light is showing, and I am going to place it on the line that I just drew, my orbit. And look at that. The Ozobot does the orbiting for me. That is amazing. The Ozobot moves based on the line you draw. So if I want to draw another line, I'm going to pick the Ozobot up, set him to the side, and I'm going to do another orbit. Maybe this time I'm going to make it a squiggly line on the inside. He should follow this path, but I need to be sure that I have a thick line. If I don't have a thick line, this is what might happen. I'm going to place my Ozobot on here, and he stops. He starts blinking at me. What does that mean? Well, it means my line isn't thick enough. So you need to go over it with your marker and make it a little bit thicker. Same thing up here. Okay, and let's try it again. Take two. Much better. And he follows that goofy orbit. Another stop. That means I need to improve something on this side, just like an engineer would have to improve. Maybe make it a little thicker on this side. Excellent. And now I have an inside orbit and an outside orbit. You could even add another orbit to the outside if you'd like. So that is your lesson on Ozobots and orbits. Today we'll get a chance to make one of these.